All right, overall market update with individual stocks. Still believe that this is either a B wave or it is a diagonal. So again, it's tricky because it keeps on going up, and so everyone thinks that we're in an impulse move because it's like every day you wake up, green, green, green. It never goes down. Green every day for a long time. But if you look at the structure of it, it's still a corrective move unless it's a diagonal. So diagonal would look like this. So that's possible too. If it's a diagonal though, I would still expect a pullback here. The other possibility is this. A, B, C, like that. So both of these are kind of projecting come back down here to like, who knows, 450, but more than likely hold this low at 423. The reason I say it could be a B wave is if you look at the timing of this, let's go to the hourly. The timing of this went from September 6th to the 19th, it went straight up, made 5 waves. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we get this move down, we get this chop move up, which is a B wave, and a C wave down. This took 12 days. So about the same time length as this. So that would be potentially a B wave. Let's draw a parallel line here. I think I already have it drawn. Okay, there it is. I have it up here. So you can see here, the C wave is just kind of sideways going up. So this would have to be 5 waves. And that's exactly what it is. It looked like it was corrective at first, but you have some kind of like diagonal right here. So 1, 2, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. Yeah, 4, 5, and then you get this 4th wave right here. So this is the 3rd wave right here. And then you get a 4th wave right here. And I think that we are starting that 5th wave up. And if you look at the 1.61 fib, whoops, the 1.61 fib of this move right here, let's just see where it's at. So it's pretty high up here actually, it's at 511. So is it possible that it goes all the way up here to 511? Possible, but we're already in resistance right here. It could just be a very short C wave. And look at the timing of this too. This was 13 days, 12 days. We're sitting here at 11 days. So what if next week we come up here around in this area on like Monday or Tuesday and then sell off? We'll see what happens. It's tough to call the exact top on this right now, but I think there's a very good chance that it happens either at the end of next week or sometime early next week. We see some kind of pullback. I think I'm leaning towards this. So let's just say it goes to 500. If it goes to 500, then it would be come back down to a minimum 466. And there's no gaps below. What's the maximum it can go to? The maximum would be here at 418. That would be pretty wild because that would make this an expanded flat into another expanded flat. So yeah, let's see what happens next week. That's my take on it. I think that we're coming up on a top, and the reason I say that too is I've been looking at a bunch of different stocks, and they're all about to hit their gap fills that I said like a month ago they need to hit. Like, look at crowd. I've had this gap up here for a while at 337, and we're at 318. So it's almost there. Straight down, chop up here. Gap is almost filled. There's two up here. So it could last maybe another week or so if it keeps on going up. What else is there? There's other stocks that have gaps that are about to be filled. Trying to think. Top of my head. What other gaps? AMD, another one. This already filled its gap here at 173. I was talking about that gap for a while, sold off. It probably topped out. Apple. These tech stocks, they don't really have any gaps. They've been up here for such a long time. But there's just a few stocks that I've been looking at that have gaps. Microsoft, no. Meta. So I don't know off the top of my head, but there's a bunch of stocks I've been looking at that have gaps that have been filled. So I'm expecting a sell-off. I think the sell-off's going to be quick, though. If you go back over Tesla, I think this can go down. Another way that you look at this, instead of going all the way down here to 160, I think this could go down here and be the exact same move as this. You can see here, we double bottomed with that move, and we bounced from there. So this could easily just go like that into earnings too. Earnings are on the 23rd, and then earnings could be the catalyst that takes us up to 350. So this could end up going like that, potentially. So, yeah, I think Tesla's probably going to go lower, regardless of if it bounces. It has a lot of resistance up here too, with the 20 and the 50. I don't think it gets above the 20-day moving average on a bounce. It can get above the 50, but you have this gap fill at 238. I'd be surprised if it just went straight up from here. And it's selling off here too. Again, you have to watch out. The gap fill down here at 202. So we could wake up next week, and this could be down here at 202 and just continue to sell off. And they could just get it over with really quickly. This only took 25 days. We're sitting at about half of that right now. So it kind of makes sense to bounce a little bit next week and then sell off. That'll be 25 days right around earnings. So watch out for Tesla down here to 175 and 180. Ooh, brutal. This is why managing your deltas are so important. My account is literally, it's down a little bit today, but it's not down that much because I had puts, I had covered calls, and my position isn't like too big where I just lose a ton of money when this goes down. So as long as you manage your deltas and keep it kind of tight and then have some cash, you can just average back down here, not lose that much money, and then when it bounces, you're up a bunch. So learn to manage your deltas. What was I going to go over? There's another stock I was going to go over. SoFi I need to go over for sure. BA I've gone over. NVIDIA, same thing as QQQ. This is probably a B wave. Another reason why this could sell off hard. This would come back down here to 110 to 105 and then take off after that. So this would look like something like that. So I recommend having some cash ready. We're almost there, in my opinion. CRM, this is too high. I was going to say it just finished gap filling. That was a long time ago. Maybe there's a gap up here, though. Yeah, there was. It just filled this gap as well. So you can see these stocks move together, really. So notice how it just filled the gap recently, all of these stocks are getting ready. They're getting ready to fall. I'm telling you. And it's probably going to be a very quick fall. I had a question about in-phase. I sold puts on this, which I still do bullish positions, even if I think the market's going to fall sometimes. If they're high probability, like this could go down to this gap fill at 79 bucks if the market falls. So be careful here. This could end up being something like that. And then this is, could even go like this. Could even be 5 waves. So be careful with this one. But I did sell a put on this at 100 for 11.15. So it's kind of against my narrative, but I like to, I mean, it's at the bottom of the range. So if I'm wrong, I'll break even at 90. I'll be down a little bit, but it'd be so overextended. I'm expecting a bounce back. It won't be that big of a deal. So don't be surprised. The maximum on this stock for it to go down, though, would be 73 bucks. So basically a double bottom is what I'd be looking for if it goes down. This would probably be a ABC move because that's right at 73. So this would end up being like that. That could be the B wave, and then it takes off after that. So could be a second wave too. But you see here, this is the area that makes the most sense up here, 170 to 190. So there's potential that this comes all the way down here, and then, or maybe it just fills this gap, and then it goes all the way to 170. All these gap fills are the most likely scenario. So that's another reason why I'm comfortable selling puts here, because if it does sell off hard, it's going to bounce back quick. Symbiotic, I think it probably has one more move in it. Let's take a look though. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so one, two. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or is 5 up here? I think this might be 5, and this might be the fourth wave right there. This could have topped out, or it's going to extend. Because we have the gap up here at 35 bucks. I'm still holding shares. I haven't sold everything yet. I did sell a little bit, just because it's impossible to hold all your shares for this big of a move and be comfortable. So I sold some of them, but I'm holding definitely for 35 bucks for the rest of them. So that would be a wave 1. And then I'd be looking for a retrace whenever the market falls to at least 24 bucks, but probably back down here to 20. So you could see something like this. To be clear, I think we are on the verge of a parabolic move, but I think that they're going to clear everything out by just tanking the market. I don't know what's going to happen. Israel, Iran, who knows what's going to happen, what excuse they're going to use to tank the market, but I think we are on the verge of that happening in the next week or two. Super micro, again, very close to filling the gap. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes up here early next week or later next week, and then it's ready to go down for its 5th wave. So A, B, C here, and then it's ready to do this. I know it's kind of crazy, but that would be like a pretty big move down. That would be like almost a 40% drop. So we'll see how this one goes, but the gap fill is up here at 51.50. If Tesla goes down to 180 though, that's a 20% drop. So it does seem like it'd be kind of crazy for this to drop that far. Maybe they get some more bad news or something to do with their perceived fraud or whatever they had with their accounting last couple of weeks. And maybe that's what causes it to come down here to monthly demand. Not sure, but I think this can fill the gap and then come down here to monthly demand. So yeah, I kind of showed you that I think we are almost there. We probably have a few more days of this going on, chopping and going up. It could start next week. It could start after OPEX on the 18th. But I think we are on the verge of a big drop. And that big drop is probably going to be quick. It could just be right into the election, or it could even be shorter than that. It could be like a week. Let's look at the VIX and the dollar real quick. So VIX down a little bit, dollar. So I was completely right about the dollar, but had no effect on the market at all so far. But it just shows you people are going into cash here. And if this accelerates, the dollar is going to keep on going higher. My target minimum is 104.36. My actual target is like 106. But it could go all the way up here to 112. So, US 10-year yield, same thing. Minimum target is 4.25%. Max target is up here at 5.57. And I guess you have a gap up here, I think. Maybe not. Maybe that's just a target. So anyway, you can see here how I have yields going up here to finish off a C wave and then dropping all the way down to like 2%. A dollar, I have it going up and then I have it dropping down to like 93. So expect a big drop over the next couple of weeks at some point. I don't know when it's going to be. I think it's going to be brutal though, because at this point, everything is completely overbought, or most stuff is overbought. And if we're going to have that big melt up, I think they need to flush everything out one more time before we can get that. So that's my thoughts on the market. Look for a dip into the end of October. Get ready to buy that dip after the election. I think we're going to go straight up.